"Someone help him! Call an ambulance!" Brooke's scream echoed throughout the Donovan estate. Caleb was lying on the marble floor at the bottom of the stairs, blood trickling from his forehead, his eyes closed. But from behind his eyelids, he watched his fiancée's every move. Brooke was screaming at the staff, making a scene, but she kept glancing at her watch, as if she were in a hurry. "Mr. Donovan, sir!" The housekeeper Brenda rushed to help, but Brooke pushed her away. "Don't touch him. He could have broken something." 3 days earlier, Caleb's life had been turned upside down. He had come home early, wanting to surprise Brooke, but he was the one who got the surprise. "Mom, I can't stand pretending to love this man anymore." Brooke's voice came from the study. Caleb stopped at the door, his heart racing. "Daughter, calm down. The creditors are putting pressure on me. I need this inheritance." It was Penelope, her mother. "And what if he finds out about our debts? It's almost $2 million. Then we'll have to do something about it." Caleb felt the ground give way beneath him. 3 years of dating, 3 years believing he was loved. The next day, he went to see his childhood friend, Dr. Ben Carter. "Ben, I need your help with something serious." "Talk to me, Caleb. We've known each other since we were kids." "I want to fake an accident. I need to find out how far some people are willing to go." "Are you crazy? Fake an accident? I heard my fiancé and my mother-in-law plotting something against me. I need to know the truth." On the day of the accident, everything was planned. The fake blood, the fall, every detail designed to look real. Now lying on the cold ground, Caleb heard the ambulance approaching. Brooke kept putting on a show, but he heard her whisper to the housekeeper, "I hope he doesn't pull through." The words made Caleb's blood run cold. She really wanted him to die. A week later, at Mercy General Hospital, Dr. Carter stood before the family with a face like he was at a funeral. "I have some very difficult news." Ben looked at Caleb in the bed. The tests confirmed it. Complete paraplegia. He'll never walk again. Brooke brought a hand to her chest and pretended to faint. Penelope caught her daughter, but Caleb saw a strange glint in his mother-in-law's eyes. It wasn't sadness. It was relief. "Doctor, are you sure? Isn't there anything that can be done?" Brooke asked, but it sounded more like she was confirming than hoping. "I'm afraid not. It's irreversible." Caleb closed his eyes, pretending to be devastated, but his heart was breaking for other reasons. Brooke's reaction confirmed everything. 3 days later, the estate was filled with ramps and handrails. Penelope had taken control of everything. "I'll take care of the household now, Caleb. You need to focus on your recovery." The worst was yet to come. Leo, Caleb's 7-year-old son, didn't understand why his father couldn't play anymore. "Daddy, let's play ball." Leo tugged on Caleb's arm, trying to get him to stand up. Caleb was dying inside, unable to hold his son. Leo was autistic and struggled with change. The situation was leaving the boy lost and confused. "Leo, Daddy's sick. He can't play like that," Brooke tried to explain, her patience wearing thin. "But he's awake. Why won't he get up?" Leo began to rock back and forth, anxious. The specialized nannies tried to calm him, but nothing worked. "This boy is going to end up in the hospital if this continues," the pediatrician said, worried. "He's developing severe anxiety. He's not eating, not sleeping. He just wants to be near his father." Caleb watched it all from his chair, his heart breaking. His son was suffering because of the lie he had created. On the 5th night, Leo had a meltdown. He banged his head against the wall, screaming, "Daddy, Daddy, come back to me." Caleb almost stood up. He almost ran to hug his son, but he held back. Leo stopped eating. The doctors grew desperate. "If he keeps this up, he'll have to be hospitalized. Malnutrition can be fatal." Caleb realized he had underestimated the consequences. His son was wasting away from grief, and there was nothing he could do. Maya Miller looked at the address on the paper one more time. The Donovan estate in the Sterling Hills neighborhood. She had never set foot there, but the situation was desperate. At 24 years old, Maya lost her job as a cleaner at the hospital. She had reported a doctor who mistreated poor patients. It was the right thing to do, but now she was broke. Her mother, Diane, desperately needed insulin for her diabetes. "Honey, it's going to work out. God doesn't abandon honest people," Diane had said that morning. But Maya could see the suffering in her mother's tired eyes. The mansion was bigger than Maya had imagined. Gilded gates, sprawling gardens, a fountain at the entrance. She took a deep breath and rang the doorbell. An elegant woman in her 50s opened the door. Perfect blonde hair, expensive clothes, a gaze that seemed to size Maya up from head to toe. "You must be the applicant for the position." "Yes, ma'am. I'm Maya Miller." "Penelope Vance, come in." Maya followed Penelope down the luxurious hallways. She had never seen so much wealth in one place. "You'll be cleaning, cooking and helping with my son-in-law. He was in an accident and is in a wheelchair. I hope you're not squeamish." "Ma'am, I'll take any honest work. I really need this job." "Good. 1,500 a month plus meals. Monday to Friday, 8-hour days." Maya almost sighed with relief. It was enough to buy her mother's medicine with a little left over. "Now I'll show you the house, and there's one more thing. The boy, Leo, is autistic. He's been going through a difficult phase since his father's accident. No one can seem to calm him down." As if he'd heard his name, a scream came from the living room. Maya followed Penelope and saw a heartbreaking scene. A boy, about 7 years old, was in the middle of the living room, rocking back and forth and screaming. 3 women tried to approach him, but Leo pushed them away. In the corner, a dark-haired man in a wheelchair watched everything with a deep sadness. "Leo, come here, sweetie. Let's get something to eat." One of the women tried to get closer, but the boy ran to the other side of the room. Everyone was panicking, not knowing what to do. Maya, without thinking, knelt on the floor and began to sing softly. "Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop." Leo stopped screaming. He turned his head toward her, his eyes wide and curious. "Do you like music?" Maya asked softly, continuing to sing. Leo approached slowly. He stopped a few feet away from her. "My mother always said that music can soothe any heart. Want me to sing another one?" The boy nodded. Maya sang "The Itsy Bitsy Spider," and Leo gave a small smile. It was the first time he had smiled since the accident. Caleb watched from his chair, feigning apathy, but reeling inside. In 5 minutes, that woman had achieved what doctors and family couldn't in weeks. "What's your name?" Leo asked. "Maya. And yours?" "Leo. My daddy doesn't play with me anymore. He got sick." Maya looked at Caleb. He was handsome, in his early 30s. His eyes looked sad, but there was something more, as if he understood everything. "Sometimes parents get sick, but they don't stop loving us. I bet your dad loves you very much." Leo looked at his father and waved. Caleb waved back, his heart aching. "Well, that's settled." Penelope clapped her hands. "Maya, you start tomorrow." Leo moved closer to Maya. "Miss Maya, are you leaving?" "I am, but I'll be back tomorrow, I promise." "You really promise?" "I promise, and I'll bring more songs for us to sing." For the first time in weeks, Leo ate his entire dinner. Caleb watched from the table, realizing he had found something unexpected. A light in the darkness. 2 weeks passed. Life at the estate settled into a new routine. Maya arrived every day at 7 in the morning, always with a smile on her face and a new song for Leo. The boy changed completely. He started eating again, sleeping properly, and playing. But only when Maya was around. "Miss Maya, are you going to live here?" Leo asked during breakfast. "I don't know, Leo. For now, I just come to work every day. I wish you lived here. Then we could sing at night, too." Maya smiled and ruffled his hair. It was impossible not to fall in love with that child. She also cared for Caleb with a tenderness that surprised everyone. She did physical therapy on his legs, helped with his exercises, and always talked to him during his care. You have to have faith. I've seen plenty of cases where people got better when no one expected it. Maya was massaging Caleb's legs, unaware that he could feel every touch. "What's your dream, Maya?" Caleb asked, trying to keep his voice neutral. "Oh, it's simple. I want to have a little house with a yard so my mom can plant flowers. She's always loved gardening, but we've never had the space." Caleb closed his eyes, pretending to be tired, but he was actually falling in love with her. Her simplicity, her kindness, the way she was with Leo. It was everything he'd always looked for. And you? What was your dream before? To have a real family, a wife who loved me, happy children. Silly dreams, right? They're not silly. They're the most important ones. But not all was well at the estate. Brooke watched everything with growing irritation. "Mother, he's smiling more when the maid is around. I don't like it." Penelope had noticed it too. Caleb seemed more animated around Maya, and that was a problem. "This woman is taking advantage of his situation. I'm going to investigate." Brooke started digging into Maya's life. She found out she'd been fired from the hospital, but she didn't know the exact reason. Penelope made a few calls. The truth was different. The girl reported a doctor for mistreating a poor patient, made a huge scene. That's why she was let go. But in Penelope's mind, the information twisted into something else. She's a troublemaker. She's not fit to work here. Meanwhile, the external pressure was mounting. The creditors called every day. "Mrs. Vance, it's $2.3 million. I need a decision by the end of the month." "Calm down, Marco. I'm handling it. I'll have the money soon." "You have until the end of the month. After that, I can't guarantee anything." Penelope hung up, her hands trembling. She had bet everything on her daughter's marriage. If Caleb died now, Brooke would inherit everything as his widow. But if he fell in love with someone else, this Maya has to go, and fast. That night, Penelope saw Caleb and Maya talking during his physical therapy. There was an intimacy between them that put her on alert. Caleb looked at Maya with an affection he never showed Brooke. "Mother, he's falling for her. I'm sure of it." Brooke was frantic. If she lost Caleb, she would lose everything. The life of luxury, the status, the money to pay off her debts. "Then we'll do something about it." Penelope already knew what to do. She would use the same trick that always worked when she needed to get rid of someone inconvenient. "Tomorrow, we're doing a deep clean of the house, and that maid will be gone for good." A Friday morning, Penelope woke up early. She went to her room to get a Rolex watch and a gold bracelet she kept in her safe. Carefully, she went to the small room where Maya kept her things. She opened the small closet and hid the jewelry among the simple clothes. Perfect. At 8 in the morning, she gathered all the staff in the living room. "Everyone, something serious has happened. Some valuable jewelry has gone missing from my room. I'm going to have to search everyone's belongings." Maya felt a pit in her stomach. She knew she was honest, but she also knew how humiliating these situations were for someone in her position. "Let's start with you, Maya. After all, you're the newest here." "Of course, Mrs. Vance. Feel free to search." Maya led Penelope to her small room, her heart pounding but her conscience clear. She'd never taken so much as a bobby pin that wasn't hers. Penelope opened the wardrobe and rummaged through the clothes. Suddenly she cried out, "I don't believe it!" She pulled out the watch and the bracelet. "My jewelry! They were here, hidden among your clothes." Maya felt her world collapse. "I swear I didn't take anything. Someone planted this." "What do you mean someone planted it? You're the only one with access to this room." Tears started to stream down her face. She needed this job. Her mother was counting on the money for her medicine. "Mrs. Vance, I swear on my mother's life, I've never taken anything." but Penelope was already shouting for the whole house to hear. "I found the thief! They were in her locker!" Leo came running, not understanding a thing. "Why is Miss Maya crying?" "She stole Grandma's things, Leo. She can't work here anymore." "No, Miss Maya didn't do anything. She's good." Leo started to scream and beat on Penelope's legs. "Don't take Miss Maya away! Don't take her!" Caleb appeared in his wheelchair, watching it all unfold. His heart shattered. He knew Maya was innocent, but he couldn't do anything without revealing the charade. "Maya, you're fired. I'm only not reporting you to the police because of Leo, but I want you out of here now." Brooke appeared, filming with her phone. "I'm recording this for proof. I'm going to post it so everyone can see what kind of person you are." Maya gathered her clothes, her hands trembling. Leo clung to her leg, crying, "Miss Maya, don't go. Stay with me." "I have to go, Leo. But you're going to be okay. You're strong and brave. Who's going to sing to me? You can. You can sing the songs I taught you." Maya kissed Leo's forehead and looked one last time at Caleb. There was something in his eyes she couldn't decipher. "You thief! Don't you ever set foot here again!" Penelope screamed from the doorway for the neighbors to see. Maya left carrying a small bag, her heart broken and her dignity shattered. On the street, the neighbors stared with contempt. Inside the estate, Leo stopped eating at once. No matter what they offered, he clamped his mouth shut and shook his head. "I want Miss Maya. I'll only eat if she comes back." 2 days later, Leo was hospitalized again. Severe malnutrition, dehydration, childhood depression. If this continues, it could be fatal. Dr. Carter was grave. "The child has gone into a deep state of grief." Caleb looked at his son in the hospital bed, hooked up to an IV, and knew he had made the biggest mistake of his life. His lie was destroying the two people he loved most, Leo and Maya. 2 days had passed since Maya was thrown out of the Donovan estate. Leo was admitted to St. John's Children's Hospital, hooked up to IVs and monitors. The boy simply refused to eat or drink anything. "He's suffering from abandonment trauma." "He's not responding to anyone," the child psychiatrist was concerned. "It's as if he's gone into a state of mourning." Caleb watched his son from his wheelchair next to the hospital bed. Leo had lost 2 pounds in 2 days, a serious matter for a 7-year-old. "Doctor, is there anything we can do?" Brooke asked, but without any real concern in her voice. "The ideal thing would be to bring back the person who was caring for him. Autistic children form very strong bonds." "That's impossible," Penelope said flatly. "That woman was a thief. She's not coming back here." Leo slowly opened his eyes and looked at his father. "Daddy, where's Miss Maya?" Caleb felt his chest tighten. He wanted to hold his son, explain everything, but he couldn't break the charade yet. She can't come, son." "Why? Did she do something wrong?" "No, Leo, she didn't do anything wrong." Caleb couldn't lie to his son. Penelope shot Caleb a warning look. Across town, Maya was in the simple house she shared with her mother in the Maple Creek area. The house had 2 small bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a backyard where Diane tried to grow some flowers. "Honey, stop blaming yourself. You didn't do anything wrong." Diane was in bed, weaker. Her diabetes had gotten worse without the proper medication. "Mom, I need to find another job, fast. Your medicine is running out." "God will provide, honey. He always has." Maya had spent 3 days looking for work. The news of the theft accusation had already spread through the neighborhood. No one wanted to hire a former thief. She only managed to find a few day cleaning jobs, $100 a house. With great effort, she saved $300, but her mother's insulin cost $600 a month. At the estate, Brooke and Penelope were talking quietly in the kitchen. "Mom, if the boy dies, Caleb will be completely devastated," Brooke whispered. "That would make things easier for us." "Calm down, dear. A special needs child is always complicated. Let's give it a few more days." Caleb was in the next room pretending to be asleep in his chair. He managed to overhear part of their conversation. What he heard made his blood run cold. They didn't care if Leo died. It would even be convenient. It was in that moment that Caleb made a decision. He had to act, but without revealing the charade just yet. He had to gather evidence to destroy them both at once. That night he called Dr. Carter. "Ben, I need your help. It's urgent." "What is it, Caleb?" "I need to hire a private investigator, discreetly." "Man, this is getting dangerous. Why don't you just tell the truth? Because if I do it now, they'll deny everything. I need proof." Ben sighed. "All right, but this has to end soon. Your son is dying, Caleb." "I know. That's why I need to act fast." A week later, Caleb had hired Rob Evans, an experienced private investigator. Rob was also trying to locate Maya. "I found her, Mr. Donovan. She's in the Maple Creek area, cleaning a few houses." "And how is she?" "Struggling to get by. Her mother needs expensive medicine and she's making very little money." Caleb felt a stab in his chest. Maya was struggling because of the setup, and he couldn't help her directly. "Rob, is there some way you can help her, but don't tell her it was me. Make up an excuse. Leave it to me. I'll think of something." Meanwhile, Rob began to investigate Penelope's past. It was slow, careful work. "Caleb, I found something interesting. This Penelope Vance, she's been married before, twice." "So what?" "Both husbands died, one of a heart attack, the other of a stroke. It could be a coincidence. Maybe, but I'm going to dig deeper. It takes time to get to the bottom of things like this." At her home in the Maple Creek area, Maya received an unexpected visitor. "Excuse me, are you Maya Miller?" "I am. Who are you?" "Robert Evans. I'm a freelance journalist. I'm doing a story on wrongful terminations." Maya was suspicious. "What kind of story?" "Cases of honest people who were falsely accused by their employers. I heard something like that happened to you." "Who told you?" "I have my sources." "May I come in? I'd like to hear your side of the story." Robert stepped into the modest home. He saw Diane in bed, clearly ill. "Is your mother okay?" "She has diabetes. We can't afford her medication." Robert pulled $500 from his pocket. "Look, our magazine pays for interviews. It's not much, but it could help." Maya was suspicious, but she needed the money. "What do you want to know?" "Tell me what happened at the estate." Maya told him the whole story. Rob asked some specific questions about Penelope. "Did she ever mention anything about her previous marriages?" "No. Why?" "Professional curiosity." "And you're sure she planted the jewelry?" "Positive. I've never taken anything that wasn't mine." Rob left the house with more information than he'd expected. Maya was clearly innocent, and there were details about Penelope that could be useful. Back at the Donovan estate, Caleb was observing Penelope and Brooke's habits. He noticed that they always spoke in hushed tones in the kitchen after they thought he was asleep. He started pretending to doze in his chair so he could listen in. "Mom, the creditors called again. They're losing their patience." "I know, dear, but there will be a solution soon." "What if Caleb doesn't die quickly? They could do something to us." "That's why we're going to speed things up. I'll increase the dose in his food." Caleb froze. They were really trying to poison him. At the end of the week, Rob returned to Maya's house with more information. "Maya, I found out a few things about your former boss." "What kind of things?" "She's been married twice before. Both husbands died young. It could be a coincidence." "It could be. But there's more. She owes a lot of money to dangerous people, illegal gambling debts." Maya's eyes widened. "How much?" "Almost $3 million. My God. And does Caleb know about this?" "I don't know. But he could be in danger." Maya's heart ached. Even after everything she'd been through, she still worried about Caleb. "And Leo? How is he?" Rob sighed. "He's still in the hospital, not getting any better. The doctors are worried. I have to do something. Maya, it's dangerous. If they find out you're digging into this, it doesn't matter. I can't just stand by knowing they're in danger." That same night, Maya couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about Leo, about the innocent child who was suffering, and about Caleb, who might be getting poisoned. "Mum, I'm going out." "Honey, it's late. Where are you going?" "I need to warn someone about a danger." Diane held her daughter's hand. "Be careful, my dear, and come back soon." Maya took the bus to the Sterling Hills neighborhood. It was almost 11 at night when she got near the estate. She knew it was risky, but she had to warn Caleb. The house's security had been reinforced after the jewelry setup. There were new cameras and a security guard making rounds. Maya had to wait for him to pass to get in through the back. She made it to the window of Caleb's room. The light was on. He was on a tablet. Maya tapped lightly on the window pane. Caleb looked up and was startled to see her. He opened the window. "Maya, what is this? Are you crazy? If they catch you here—" "Your life is in danger," Maya whispered. "I found out your mother-in-law owes a lot of money to some dangerous people." Caleb tensed up. "How do you know that?" "A journalist is investigating her. He said she's been married twice before and both husbands died." "Maya, And there's more. They're putting something in your food to make you sick." Caleb wanted to tell her about the recordings he was making, about the whole plan, but he didn't have enough proof yet. "Thank you for telling me. But you need to go. It's too dangerous." What about Leo? Can I see him? There are too many people we know at the hospital. They're always there." Suddenly they heard a noise in the hallway. "Someone's coming! Hide!" Maya ducked behind the bed. Penelope entered the room. "Caleb, are you all right? I heard voices." "I was just watching a movie on my tablet." Penelope looked around, suspicious. "It's time for your sleeping medication." She handed him a glass with a strange liquid. "Thank you, Penelope." Caleb took the glass, but didn't drink. "Just take it. It'll do you good." Caleb pretended to take the medicine, but poured it into a plant beside the bed. "There. Good night." "Good night." Penelope left, but she listened from outside for a few minutes. When the footsteps faded, Maya came out of her hiding spot. "See, she tried to force you to take it." "I know. I've been pretending to take it and throwing it out for a while now." "Caleb, you need to get out of this house." "I can't." "Not yet." "Why?" Caleb was torn between telling her the truth and continuing to lie. "It's complicated, Maya, but I promise I'll be careful." "Promise you won't take anything they give you?" "I promise." Maya kissed Caleb's forehead. "I'm going to leave before they find out." She slipped out the window and managed to get away through the back before anyone saw her. Caleb thought about everything. Maya had risked her own life to save him. That proved she truly loved him. Now he was sure he had to speed up his plan to take down Penelope and Brooke. 2 days later, Rob called Maya with urgent news. "Maya, I have important information. Leo ran away from the hospital." "What do you mean, ran away?" "The nurses went to check on him this morning and the bed was empty. No one knows how he got out." Maya's heart started to race. "An autistic child alone in the city. He could get hurt. The police are looking, but you know him better than anyone." "Do you have any idea where he might have gone?" Maya thought quickly. Leo was always talking about special places. "The park. He always talked about Riverside Park, where his father used to take him." "I'll let the police know." Maya didn't wait. She caught the first bus to Riverside Park. At the Donovan estate, the phone wouldn't stop ringing. Caleb was desperate, but he had to pretend he couldn't leave to look for his son. "What do you mean he ran away?" Brooke yelled into the phone. "What an incompetent hospital." Penelope seemed more irritated than worried. All this fuss over one troubled child. Caleb almost stood up from his chair. "He's my son, Penelope. I know, Caleb, but you have to be realistic. The boy has special needs." Maybe it would be better for him to be in an institution. Never. Caleb, darling, you can barely take care of yourself. How are you going to take care of a child like that? Brooke added, my mother's right. There are places equipped for this kind of child. Caleb realized they wanted to get rid of Leo. If the boy disappeared, there would be no obstacles to their plans. At Riverside Park, Maya ran everywhere. She asked gardeners, security guards, vendors. No one had seen a child alone. It was starting to get dark when she heard a soft cry coming from behind a large tree near the lake. Leo? The boy was curled up crying and rocking his body. Miss Maya, you came. She ran and hugged him tightly. Leo, everyone's looking for you. Why did you leave the hospital? I wanted to find you. No one would tell me where you were. You can't just run off like that, Leo. It's dangerous. But I wanted you back. Dad doesn't play anymore. Nobody sings. Maya felt her heart break. Leo, there are bad people who don't want me to be near you and your dad. Who? I can't say right now, but I promise I'll try to fix this. Do you promise you won't go away forever? I promise I'll do everything I can to stay close to you. Maya called Robert. I found him. He's with me at the park. Thank God. I'll let the family know. Robert, let me take him back. I need to talk to Caleb. It's risky. This boy needs me. On the way back to the estate, Leo said things that made Maya even more worried. Grandma Penelope said Dad is going to heaven soon, like Mom. She said that? She did. And Aunt Brooke said that afterward, I'm going to live with other kids like me. Maya realized they were planning to get rid of Caleb and Leo. The time had come to make a decision. She couldn't just stand by while the people she loved were in danger. It was 8 at night when Maya arrived at the estate with Leo. She rang the doorbell and waited. Penelope opened the door, shocked. You? What are you doing here? I brought Leo back. Dad! Leo ran inside and jumped into Caleb's arms. Caleb hugged his son tightly, unable to hide his emotion. Leo, you gave me such a scare. Miss Maya found me, Dad. She always finds me. Penelope and Brooke watched angrily. Thank you for bringing him back, Penelope said coldly. You can go now. Actually, I need to speak with Mr. Donovan. It's about his safety. He has nothing to say to you. Let her speak, Penelope, Caleb intervened. Caleb, this woman is a thief. You can't trust her. I want to hear what she has to say. Maya took a deep breath. Mr. Donovan, Mrs. Vance has some very high debts with dangerous people, almost $3 million, and she's been married before. Both husbands died young. That's absurd! Penelope shouted. This woman is making things up. And there's more. They're putting something in your food to make you sick. Brooke turned pale. Mom, she knows too much. Shut up, Brooke. Caleb looked at the two of them, then at Maya. Maya, how did you find this out? A reporter is investigating. He has proof. So it's true. I swear on my mother's life. Caleb made a decision. He couldn't reveal everything yet, but he could take the first step. Maya, stay here tonight to look after Leo. He needs you. Caleb, Penelope protested. This is insane. It's my house and my decision. Maya stays. But she's a thief. Leo clung to Maya. Miss Maya is staying. She's staying. Caleb looked firmly at Penelope. Leo needs her. And I trust her too. Penelope and Brooke exchanged worried glances. Their plans were being threatened. Fine, Caleb, but if there's any trouble, she's out of here immediately. Maya stayed at the estate that night, taking care of Leo. But she knew the danger was just beginning. Penelope and Brooke weren't going to give up on their plans easily. Maya slept in the mansion's guest room, but she couldn't relax for a single minute. She knew Penelope and Brooke were scheming against her. She woke up at 5 in the morning to Leo shaking her arm. Miss Maya, you're really here. You didn't leave. Of course not, little one. I promised I would stay. Daddy's happy too. He smiled when you said you'd take care of me. Maya felt her heart ache. Despite the confusing situation, she still worried about Caleb. They went down for breakfast. Penelope was in the kitchen preparing a tray for Caleb. "Good morning, Maya. I hope you slept well." "Good morning, Mrs. Vance." Maya watched discreetly as Penelope stirred something into Caleb's orange juice. When the woman left the kitchen, Maya quickly swapped the glass for an identical one that was in the sink. "Miss Maya, what did you do?" "Nothing much, Leo. I just cleaned the glass that was dirty." 20 minutes later, Penelope returned to the kitchen, visibly irritated. "How strange. Caleb said the juice tasted bland today." "It happens sometimes. Different fruit has a different taste." Meanwhile, in his room, Caleb was calling Robert. "Robert, I need you to install some hidden cameras in the house. Today." "I can do that, but it'll be risky. And it's going to be expensive. The price doesn't matter. I need proof of what they're doing." "All right, I'll send a team over to pose as technicians from the internet company, 2 p.m. "Perfect." Caleb hung up and called Maya into the room. "Maya, I need your help with something important. Some technicians are coming at 2 this afternoon to fix the internet. I need you to keep Penelope and Brooke busy." "Why?" "Because they aren't real technicians. They're people who are going to help me prove that they're trying to poison me." Maya's eyes widened. "You're investigating them?" "I am, for weeks. But I need concrete proof before I make any accusations." "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" "Because the fewer people who knew, the better. But now I need your help." Maya agreed, but a doubt kept nagging at her. If Caleb had been investigating for weeks, why didn't he defend her when she was accused of theft? At 2 o'clock sharp, 3 men arrived at the estate. The process of installing the cameras was more complicated than expected. Penelope insisted on watching their every move. "What kind of problem are you fixing exactly?" "The network's unstable, ma'am. We'll need to check every room." Maya had to use all her creativity to distract the 2 women. "Mrs. Vance, Leo wants to show you his drawings." "Not now, Maya. But he's so insistent. He's starting to throw a fit." It was a tense 40 minutes until the technicians finished their work. The cameras were tiny, disguised as screws and decorative details. "All set, sir. The internet problem is solved." "Thank you." When the men left, Penelope returned, suspicious. "Maya, what was that all about? Leo didn't want to show me any drawings." "Oh, he changed his mind after you went upstairs." Penelope didn't quite believe her, but she couldn't prove anything. That night, the first recordings began. Caleb watched everything on his phone, hidden in the bathroom. In the kitchen, Brooke was preparing dinner. "Mum, I'm going to put 2 drops in tonight. We need to speed things up." "Are you sure it won't be noticeable?" 2 drops are imperceptible. He'll get weaker, but it will look natural." Caleb recorded everything. He finally had proof they were poisoning him, but the next conversation was even more shocking. "The creditors gave us an ultimatum. 1 week. If we don't pay, they're going to do something to us. And what if Caleb doesn't die in time? Then we'll have to arrange something else. A more convincing accident." Caleb felt a chill. They were actually planning to kill him if the poison didn't work fast enough. Over the next 4 days, the recordings revealed even more serious information. Caleb discovered that Penelope's real debt was even bigger. "Marco, I swear I'll have the money. Just a few more days." "Mrs. Vance, the boss's patience has run out. If you don't show up with the cash by Sunday, you know what happens." "Sunday? That's only 3 days from now." "Exactly, 3 days." Caleb realized time was running out. They were going to do something drastic very soon. Rob had news too. "Dr. Donovan, I got more information on Penelope's previous husbands." "No, what did you find out?" "The first one died of a heart attack at 34. Perfect health, played sports. The second had a stroke at 29. He was young and healthy too." "You think she killed them?" I can't say for sure, but it's highly suspicious, and in both cases she inherited considerable fortunes. And did you figure out how she did it? I'm still investigating, but I have a suspicion. Rob showed him photos of chemical compounds. These compounds, in small doses, can mimic heart attacks and strokes. They're practically undetectable in standard tests. Caleb felt a chill run down his spine. Penelope was an experienced killer. Meanwhile, Maya was noticing strange changes in Brooke's behavior. The woman was watching her constantly and asking odd questions. "Maya, don't you think it's strange?" "What?" "That Caleb has gotten so much better since you came back." "What do you mean better?" "He's more lively, more alert. Even the color has come back to his skin." Maya pretended not to understand. "Maybe it's because Leo is eating properly now." "Could be, or it could be something else." The tension was rising. Maya could tell Brooke was suspicious of something, but she didn't know what. That afternoon, Robert showed up at the estate disguised as a delivery man. "Delivery for Maya Miller." "That's me." Robert handed her a package and whispered, "There's important information inside. Read it when you're alone." Maya opened the package in the bathroom. Inside were photos, documents, and a letter explaining everything Robert had discovered about Penelope. 3 dead husbands, all young and healthy. All the deaths followed the same pattern. She's a professional killer. Maya's legs felt weak. The situation was much worse than she had imagined. But what shocked her most was the last line of the letter. "Caleb is in mortal danger. They're going to try something by Sunday. Be very careful." Maya burned the papers in the bathroom sink, but the information was seared into her mind. She had to warn Caleb about the urgency of the situation. That night, when everyone was asleep, she knocked lightly on his bedroom door. "Caleb, I need to talk to you. It's urgent. Come in." Maya told him everything Rob had discovered about the previous husbands and about the Sunday deadline. "They're going to try something by Sunday. We don't have much time." "I know. That's why I need to speed up my plan." "What plan?" "I'm going to pretend I'm getting sicker from the poison. Then they'll let their guard down. On Sunday, when they try to kill me for real, I'll reveal everything in front of witnesses." "What witnesses?" "I'm going to set up a meeting with my lawyer and a few friends. I'll say I want to draw up my will because I'm feeling sick." Maya found the plan risky. What if it goes wrong? What if they try something before then? "That's why I need you. To keep an eye on Leo and to help me pretend I'm getting worse. Caleb, I still don't understand why you didn't defend me when I was accused of theft." Caleb sighed. "Because if I did, they would suspect I knew about their plans. I needed them to feel secure, to think they were in control. But I suffered so much." "I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life asking for your forgiveness. But right now, I need your help to save Leo." Maya looked at Caleb. She was still hurt, but her concern for Leo was stronger. "Fine, I'll help, but only for the boy." The next 2 days were tense. Caleb began to feign increasing weakness. Maya helped him, pretending to be worried about his condition. "Mrs. Vance, Caleb is very weak today. He barely managed to have his breakfast." "That's normal. The stroke has lasting effects. But he's getting worse so quickly. Unfortunately, that's just how it is." Maya could detect poorly disguised satisfaction in Penelope's voice. Brooke, on the other hand, was growing more and more nervous. She was constantly on the phone with someone, always whispering, "Okay, Mom, Sunday afternoon, it's a date." On Friday morning, something happened that changed everything. Maya was giving Leo a bath when the boy asked a question that left her in shock. "Miss Maya, why does Daddy pretend he can't walk?" Maya almost dropped the shampoo bottle. "What do you mean, Leo?" "Last night I woke up to go potty and I saw him standing by the window." Maya's heart started to race. "Are you sure about what you saw?" "I'm sure he was walking normally, But when he saw me, he got back in his chair really fast. And did you tell anyone? No, I thought it was a secret. Maya felt a mix of shock, anger, and confusion. Could Caleb really walk? Had it all been a lie from the beginning? Leo, this is going to be our secret, okay? Don't tell anyone. Okay, Miss Maya. But Maya couldn't contain herself. The rest of the day passed in a blur. She took care of Leo on autopilot, but her mind was elsewhere. That night, after everyone had gone to sleep, she confronted Caleb. Is it true you can walk? Caleb turned pale. Who told you that? Leo told me. He saw you last night. Caleb ran a hand through his hair and sighed deeply. Maya, I can explain. Then explain, because I don't understand any of this. Caleb glanced at the door, checking to see if anyone was listening. Maya, I was never in an accident. I faked being paralyzed to find out if Brooke really loved me. Maya felt her legs go weak. You faked everything. I did. And I found out she only wants my money. More than that, I found out she and Penelope are trying to kill me. And you let me be humiliated, thrown out like a thief. Knowing I was innocent, tears started to roll down Maya's face. Maya, I couldn't reveal the truth then if they found out. You used me. You let me suffer for weeks. Maya's voice was trembling with anger and pain. It wasn't like that. I suffered with you. Every second you were away from here was torture for me. Lies. If that were true, you would have defended me. Maya, please. Do you know what I went through? My mother almost died without her medicine. The whole neighborhood called me a thief, and you knew I was innocent. Maya was crying and talking at the same time, all her pent-up pain pouring out at once. I'm sorry, Maya. I'm so sorry, but if I had revealed the truth at that moment, I don't want your apologies. I want you to understand that you destroyed my life over a test. She turned to leave, but Caleb grabbed her by the arm. Wait, there's more you need to know. What else? They're planning to kill me for real by Sunday, and then they want to put Leo in an institution. Maya stopped. What? Penelope owes $5.5 million to loan sharks. If she doesn't pay by Sunday, they're going to kill her. That's why she needs my inheritance, and fast. What about Leo? To them, he's just a problem. They want to get rid of him too. Maya was torn between her anger at Caleb and her worry for Leo. Even if that's true, it doesn't change what you did to me. I know, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make it up to you. But right now, I need your help to save Leo. Maya looked at Caleb, her heart torn between love and disappointment. What do you want me to do? Help me protect him until Sunday. After that, you can leave and never see me again if you want. Maya thought of Leo, the innocent child who had grown so attached to her. Okay, but only for his sake. And after this whole thing is over, we're going to have a serious talk about what you did to me. Saturday dawned with tension in the air. Caleb pretended to be worse, nearly fainting during breakfast. I think I need to call the doctor. Maya feigned concern. That's not necessary, Penelope said quickly. He's just a little weak. It's normal. But he can barely keep his eyes open. It's the sleeping medication. Sometimes it makes you drowsy the next day. Maya and Caleb exchanged a look. She was increasing the dose of the poison. Throughout the afternoon, Brooke received several calls that made her nervous. Okay, Mom. Tomorrow at 6 in the evening. Yes, I remember everything. No, he won't suspect a thing. That night, Maya pretended to be very worried about Caleb. Penelope, Caleb is doing very poorly. I think we should take him to the hospital. Calm down, Maya. I'll call the family doctor tomorrow morning. But what if he gets worse during the night? He won't get worse, he's just tired. Sunday dawned grey and tense. Caleb had arranged with Robert for the lawyer to arrive with the witnesses at 5 in the afternoon. Robert, are you sure everything is ready? Absolutely. Dr. Mendez, the notary, and the accountant will be here at 5. The recordings are all organized, and the police will be on standby. And the loan sharks? Penelope scheduled with them for 6 p.m. It'll be the perfect time. At 4 p.m., Caleb started to fake a crisis. Maya, help me. I don't feel well. Mrs. Vance, come here, quick. Something's terribly wrong with Mr. Donovan. Penelope came running, but instead of concern, there was an eagerness in her eyes. What is it? He's having trouble breathing. I think he's having another stroke. Calm down. I'll call the doctor. But instead of calling the doctor, Penelope called Brooke. Honey, it's time. Get over here now. Caleb and Maya realized they were going to try and speed things up. Their plan was to kill Caleb before he could sign the will. Maya, Caleb whispered as Penelope left the room, take Leo to his room and stay there with him. Don't leave until I call for you. What about you? I'm going to pretend I'm dying. When they try to kill me, I'll get up and reveal everything. What if it goes wrong? It won't. Rob has everything ready. At 5 o'clock, the lawyer arrived with the witnesses as planned. Penelope was irritated. What terrible timing. Caleb is very sick. That's precisely why I've come. He called me saying he wants to draw up his will urgently. Penelope couldn't refuse without raising suspicion. At 5:30, 2 large men arrived, the loan sharks. Mrs. Vance, we've come for our money. Easy, Marco, I'm handling it right now. From that moment on, the house became a powder keg ready to explode. At 6 o'clock, the estate's living room was full. The lawyer, Mr. Mendez, the notary, the accountant, Penelope, Brooke, the 2 loan sharks, and Caleb in a wheelchair, pretending to be on the verge of death. Mr. Mendez, thank you for coming. After this health scare, I want to get everything in order. Of course, Mr. Donovan. I brought the documents you asked for. Marco, the loan shark, was getting impatient. Mrs. Vance, we don't have time for this. We want our money now. Patience. As soon as he signs the will, I'll have access to everything. The lawyer frowned. What do you mean, access to everything? Mr. Donovan isn't dead. But he's dying. Look at the state he's in. Caleb took the opportunity to feign more weakness. Doctor, I can barely breathe. Mr. Donovan, are you sure you want to do this now? I am. You can begin. Penelope was overly anxious. Doctor, please, be quick. He might not last much longer. It was then that Caleb decided the time had come. Actually, he said, his voice returning to normal, before I draw up any will, I want to show you all something. He picked up the TV remote and turned it on. Mr. Mendez, you and the other witnesses need to see this. The recordings appeared on the screen. First, Penelope and Brooke talking about putting poison in the food. Then, about the debts to the loan sharks. Finally, about the plans to kill Caleb. A total silence fell over the room. Caleb, Penelope tried to speak. This is... It's the truth. You tried to poison me. You tried to kill me. And you owe these criminals over $5 million. It started to dawn on Marco and his associate. So you're telling us you lied, said you'd inherit and pay us. No, it's a misunderstanding. Some misunderstanding. You've been playing us. Brooke tried to run, but Marco grabbed her. Nobody leaves until we settle this. It was then that Caleb did what everyone least expected. He stood up from his wheelchair. The room was in complete shock. Penelope collapsed onto the sofa. Brooke screamed. The lawyer and the accountant's jaws dropped. My God, Mr. Mendez whispered. You can walk? I always could. I pretended to be paralyzed to find out who these women really are. Marco let out a bitter laugh. So Penelope Vance really played us, said she was going to inherit a fortune. Please, Penelope pleaded. You don't understand. Oh, we understand perfectly. You owe $5.5 million and you have no way to pay. Caleb picked up the phone. Hello, police? I need to report an attempted murder and the presence of criminals in my home. Caleb, don't do this, Brooke shouted. I love you. It was all my mother's idea. Liar, Penelope shot back. You were the one who wanted to speed things up. The two of them started accusing each other, revealing even more details. "She's the one who bought the poison, and you're the one who put it in the food." Marco was losing his patience. "Enough! You're going to pay us one way or another." "With what money?" Caleb intervened. "They have nothing. They gambled it all away." "Then we'll collect another way." Just then, Maya came downstairs with Leo. The child saw his father standing and ran to him. "Daddy, you're walking. It's a miracle." "It is, son. Daddy's okay." Police sirens began to grow closer. "The police are here," Caleb announced. "It's over." Marco and his accomplice tried to flee, but the police had already surrounded the house. Penelope and Brooke were arrested on the spot. "Mr. Donovan," the detective asked, "can you explain this situation?" "With pleasure." And right there in front of everyone, Caleb told the whole truth. The fake paralysis, the poisoning attempts, the debts, the murder plots. "And this woman," he said, pointing to Maya, "was unjustly accused of theft. I want it on the record that she is completely innocent." Maya was still processing everything. Caleb was okay, Leo was safe, and the villains had finally been exposed. But in her heart, the pain of betrayal was still very much alive. 2 hours after Penelope and Brooke's arrest, the Donovan estate was finally quiet. The police had finished collecting evidence, the loan sharks had been taken into custody, and the witnesses had given their full statements. Maya was in the kitchen making a snack for Leo, who had been clinging to his father ever since the revelation. The child was confused, but happy to see Caleb walking. "Miss Maya, does Daddy not need the wheelchair anymore?" "Not anymore, sweetie. Your daddy's okay. And the mean ladies aren't coming back." "No, Leo, they've gone away, and they're not coming back." Caleb appeared at the kitchen doorway. Maya avoided looking directly at him. Her emotions were still a jumble in her head. "Leo, how about you go watch some TV in the living room? I need to talk with Miss Maya." "Okay, but come back soon, okay, Daddy?" "I will." When Leo left, a heavy silence filled the kitchen. Maya continued washing the dishes, but her hands were trembling slightly. "Maya, we need to talk." "About what? I think everything's already been said." "About us. About what happened." Maya turned to him, her eyes still red from crying. "There is no us, Caleb. There never was. It was all a lie." "It wasn't a lie. My feelings for you were always real." "Your feelings?" Maya gave a bitter laugh. "You watched me get humiliated, thrown out like a thief, and you didn't lift a finger to defend me." "Maya, if I had done that—" "Stop with that excuse. You chose your plan over me. You chose your revenge over protecting the person you claimed to love." Caleb moved closer, but Maya backed away. "You're right. I was wrong. I was so wrong." "Wrong?" Maya's voice rose. "You weren't the one called a thief all over the neighborhood. Your mother didn't almost die because she couldn't get her medicine. You didn't go hungry because no one would give you a job." Tears rolled down her face again. "Maya, forgive me. Please." "Forgive you?" She shook her head. "I don't even know if I can look at you without feeling angry. What do you want me to do?" "I want you to understand that some things can't be fixed just by saying you're sorry." "I understand. But I'm not going to give up trying." "Caleb, I'm leaving. Today, I'm going back to my mother's house. What about Leo? He's gotten so attached to you." Maya's heart ached. The child had truly become special to her. "Leo will be fine. He has you, his real father. Maya, he needs you. I need you. You should have thought of that before." Just then, Leo appeared in the kitchen. "Why are you yelling? Are you fighting?" Maya knelt down to his level. "We're not fighting, sweetie. Just talking about some grown-up things." "Miss Maya, are you leaving?" The child's innocent question broke Maya's heart. "I am, Leo, but we'll always be friends." "No, I don't want you to go." Leo started to cry and clung to Maya's leg. "Stay here with me and Daddy. We can be a family." Maya looked at Caleb, who was clearly emotional. Leo, sometimes people need to spend a little time apart to think. But I don't want to think, I want you to stay. Leo, Caleb picked his son up. Miss Maya is right. Sometimes grown-ups need some time. But for how long? I don't know, son. I don't know. 3 weeks passed. Maya returned to her home in the Maple Creek area and was trying to rebuild her life. The story of what happened at the Donovan estate had made the local news, and now everyone knew she was innocent. But even with her innocence proven, Maya still felt a deep ache in her chest. She would wake up in the middle of the night, remembering the moment she was thrown out of the estate. The humiliation still stung like an open wound. Honey, you did the right thing leaving that place. Diane was in the kitchen making tea. With the money Robert had given her, she'd been able to buy her medicine and was feeling much better. Mom, sometimes I think I was too hard on him. You weren't. He hurt you deeply. You have every right to be upset. But Leo, the poor kid, he has nothing to do with this. Diane sat down next to her daughter. Maya, do you really love this man? I do, Mom. A lot. But I don't know if I can trust him again. And why not? Because he let me suffer, knowing I was innocent. How can I be sure he won't deceive me again? Honey, we're never sure of anything in this life. But I can tell you one thing. That little boy truly loves you. And children don't know how to lie. At the Donovan estate, Caleb was dealing with his own turmoil. Leo asked about Maya every day, and he didn't know what to tell him anymore. Daddy, can we go visit Miss Maya? I don't know if she wants visitors, son. But she likes me. She always has. I know she does. But sometimes liking someone isn't enough. Leo, with the typical honesty of a child, asked a question that stung. Daddy, did you hurt Miss Maya? Caleb sighed. Yes, I did, son. A lot. Then you have to say you're sorry. I already did. But some apologies aren't enough. Why? Because sometimes we hurt the people we love so much that they become afraid to trust again. Leo was thoughtful for a moment. Daddy, Miss Maya always told me that when I did something wrong, I had to show I'd learned my lesson, not just say it. His son's words hit Caleb like a bolt of lightning. Leo was right, it wasn't enough to apologize. He needed to show he had changed. In the following weeks, Caleb started thinking about how he could prove to Maya that he was truly sorry. That's when he had an idea. A month and a half after the separation, Maya received an unexpected visitor. It was Mr. Mendez, Caleb's lawyer. Good afternoon, Miss Miller. I've come to make you a job offer. What kind of offer? Mr. Donovan has established a foundation to help families with autistic children. He would like you to be the director. Maya was suspicious. Is he trying to buy me off? No, miss, on the contrary. He made it very clear that if you accept, he will have no interference in its administration. The foundation will be completely independent. And why would he do that? In his own words, because she's the only person I know who will take proper care of these children. Maya grew thoughtful. It was an incredible opportunity to help other families going through what she and Leo had been through. Can I think about it? Of course. But there's one more thing. Mr. Mendez handed her an envelope. He asked me to give this to you. Inside the envelope was a letter. Maya, I know you don't want to talk to me right now, and I understand, but I couldn't not try to make up for at least some of the harm I've caused. This foundation isn't to buy you off or force you into anything. It's because I saw how you cared for Leo, and I know you have a gift for helping children. If you accept, you'll be helping hundreds of families. If you don't, I understand that too. I just wanted you to know that my love for you is real, even if my actions have proven otherwise. Caleb. Maya read the letter 3 times. It was the first time she felt that maybe Caleb was really trying to change. 2 weeks later, she decided to accept the position. Not for Caleb, but for the children she could help. The headquarters of the Leo Foundation was in a modern building downtown. On her first day, Maya arrived, nervous but determined. "Good morning, I'm Maya Miller, the new director. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Carla, the coordinator. Mr. Donovan got everything set up for you." Maya took a tour of the facilities. There were therapy rooms, a recreation area, a specialized library, and even a small school equipped for autistic children. "He really thought of everything," Maya murmured, impressed. "He did. He was here almost every day for a month, supervising every detail." At the end of her first day, Maya was in her office when she heard a familiar little voice in the hallway. "Miss Maya! Miss Maya!" Leo came running in, followed by Caleb. "Leo, what a surprise! Daddy said you work here now, is it true?" "It is. And what are you doing here?" "I came to bring you something." Leo pulled a drawing from his backpack. It was him, Maya, and Caleb holding hands, with a big heart around them. "I made it for you, to decorate your new office." Maya felt her eyes well up. "It's beautiful, Leo. I'll hang it right here on the wall." Caleb approached but kept a respectful distance. "Maya, I hope you don't mind us stopping by. Leo was so insistent." "I don't mind at all. I'm happy to see you." "How's it going?" "Good. Really good. Thank you for this opportunity. You deserve it. And you're going to do an incredible job here." A slightly awkward silence filled the room. Leo, sensing the tension between the adults, had an idea. "Miss Maya, do you want to have dinner with us tonight? Daddy learned how to make pasta." "Oh, Leo, I don't know if—" "Please, it's been so long since we've had dinner together." Maya looked at Caleb, who shrugged. "If you want to, that would be great, but no pressure." "Okay, but only because I've missed this little guy." Dinner at the estate was lighter than Maya had expected. Leo talked about his new school. Caleb spoke about the changes he'd made at the company, and she shared her plans for the foundation. "You know what moves me the most?" Maya said. "It's thinking that we'll be able to help other children like Leo. And other families like yours," Caleb added. "People who are struggling because they have to take care of special needs children." "Yeah, no one should have to choose between buying medicine and buying food. You'll never have to again. At least not the families that come to us." After dinner, while Leo was playing in the living room, Caleb and Maya stayed in the kitchen, washing the dishes. A comfortable silence filled the room. "Maya, can I ask you a question?" "Go ahead. Do you think you'll ever be able to forgive me?" Maya stopped washing the plate and looked at him. "Caleb, it's not about forgiveness. It's about trust. And do you think you'll ever be able to trust me again?" "I don't know. Maybe. But it's going to take time." "How much time?" "I have no idea. It could be months, it could be years, it could be never." Caleb nodded sadly. "And you would wait? All that time?" "Maya, I'd wait a lifetime if I had to." She looked him in the eyes and saw sincerity there. "Why?" "Because you're the only person who's ever truly loved me, the only one who took care of my son like he was her own, the only one who made me want to be a better person." "Caleb." "You don't have to say anything right now. I just wanted you to know." Just then, Leo appeared in the kitchen. "Are you guys talking about grown-up stuff again?" "We are." Maya smiled. "Is it boring stuff?" "No, little guy. It's important stuff." Leo looked at them both, and with the innocent wisdom of a child said, "Then I hope you figure it out soon, because when you guys are happy, I'm happy too." The following months were a slow process of rebuilding. Maya visited Leo twice a week. Caleb respected her space, but always showed her affection and care without any pressure. They talked a lot about the past, about the choices they made, about the pain they felt. Maya began to better understand why Caleb acted the way he did, and Caleb began to comprehend the depth of the pain he had caused. "You know what hurt the most?" Maya said during one of these conversations. "It wasn't even the accusation of theft. It was that you chose not to trust me. What do you mean? If you had told me the truth from the beginning, I would have helped you, but you thought I wasn't capable of keeping a secret. That wasn't it, Maya. I was afraid you would run if you knew I was capable of such a huge lie. And now you see how much worse it was to find out later. I do, and I regret it every day. They were difficult conversations, but necessary ones. And slowly, Maya began to realize that Caleb had truly changed. 8 months after the sham was revealed, on a Saturday afternoon, Maya received a call from Robert with important news. Maya, the verdict from the trial is in. And Penelope was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Brooke got 15. The loan sharks were convicted too. It's finally truly over. And there's more. During the trial, the judge praised Caleb's actions. He said Caleb had every right to be suspicious and that their reaction proved he was right. Maya hung up the phone, lost in thought. In a way, the trial had validated Caleb's actions. Not that it erased the pain she'd felt, but at least it showed he had valid reasons. That night, she decided to tell him the news in person. She arrived at the Donovan estate around dinner time. "Miss Maya," Leo ran to hug her. "You came to have dinner with us." "I did. Where's your dad?" "He's in the kitchen trying to make lasagna." "Dad, Miss Maya is here." Caleb appeared, wearing an apron stained with sauce and a surprised smile. "It's good to see you. Did something happen?" "I got news about the trial." During dinner, Maya told him everything Robert had said. Caleb listened in silence. "How do you feel, knowing this?" he asked. "Relieved. And also, I don't know, more at peace." "Why?" "Because now I understand better why you did what you did. They were truly dangerous." "Does this change anything between us?" Maya sighed. "It does, but not in the way you're thinking." "What do you mean?" "It changes things because now I understand your reasons better. But it doesn't change the fact that you let me suffer." "Maya, let me finish. These months away from you both made me think a lot. And I came to a conclusion. Which is? That love isn't just about feelings. It's about choices. And you chose your plan over protecting me." Caleb lowered his head. "But I also realized something about myself." "What?" "That I made choices too. I chose to hold on to my resentment instead of trying to better understand your side." Caleb looked at her, surprised. "What do you mean?" "I mean, maybe we were both wrong. You for not trusting me enough, and me for not trying to understand why you did it." Leo, who had been listening to the conversation, came into the room. "Does that mean you're not going to fight anymore?" Maya knelt down to his level. "It means we're going to try to understand each other better." "And are you going to move back in?" "I don't know yet, Leo. We need more time." "But are you going to try to be together?" Maya looked at Caleb. "We're going to try, sweetie. Slowly, but we're going to try." 2 months later, on a sunny Sunday morning, Maya was in the garden of the Donovan estate, helping Leo plant flowers, when Caleb approached with a serious expression. "Maya, I need to tell you something." What is it?" "I'm in love with you. Again, or rather still." Maya smiled. "You're only just realizing that now?" "No. I've known for a long time, but now I have the courage to say it." "And why do you have the courage now?" "Because I've learned that real love is about honesty, and I want to be completely honest with you." Maya stood up and looked into his eyes. "I'm in love with you too." "Really?" "Really. But I'm still scared." "Of what?" "Of trusting again and being lied to." Caleb took her hands. "Maya, I promise I'll never hide anything from you again, even if it's hard, even if it hurts. And I promise I'll try to trust you, even if it's hard, even if it takes time." Leo, who had been watching everything, shouted with joy, "Does this mean you're going to get married?" Maya and Caleb laughed. "Slow down, sweetie, let's take it slow," Maya said. "But will you get married someday?" Who knows? Caleb smiled. If Miss Maya wants to. I do, Leo shouted before Maya could answer. 1 year later, in a simple ceremony in the garden of their home, Maya and Caleb were married. Diane was in the front row, emotional. Her diabetes was well under control with the proper treatment Caleb had provided. Leo was the happiest ring-bearer in the world. Do you take this man to be your husband? The priest asked. Maya looked at Caleb, remembered everything they had been through together, and smiled. I do. And do you take this woman to be your wife? I do, and I promise to be worthy of her trust every day of my life. I now pronounce you husband and wife, Leo shouted with joy even before the bride and groom could kiss. Now we're a family, a real family. During the small reception, Rob approached Maya. So how does it feel to be rich now? The same as always. The only difference is now I can help more people. And the foundation? It's going to grow. We've already helped several families. And you too? Are you going to have more kids? Maya smiled mysteriously. Who knows? 6 months later, Sophia Donovan was born. Leo was the proudest brother in the world. Dad, Mom, Sophia smiled at me. She really likes you, Leo, Maya said, nursing the baby. And I really like her. And you guys, we're the happiest family in the world. Caleb hugged his wife and children. We are, son, we really are. 2 years later, the Donovan family was gathered in the park where Maya had found Leo when he was lost. Now there were 4 of them. Caleb, Maya, 10-year-old Leo, and little 2-year-old Sophia. Leo was pushing his little sister on the swing while telling her stories. Caleb and Maya watched from a nearby bench. Do you regret anything? Caleb asked. Not the suffering, because it's what brought me to you. I regret letting you suffer, but I don't regret finding out who they really were. We've helped so many people with the foundation, and we're going to help so many more. Leo came running up to them. Daddy, Mommy, Sophia wants you to come play too. Let's go then. Maya stood up. Our family is calling. They walked together toward the swings. A family that was born from pain, grew through forgiveness, and found happiness in true love. Did you like this story? Do you think Penelope got what she deserved? Do you think Caleb did the right thing by faking his paralysis? Let me know in the comments. Until the next story.